Okay, we're going to go over standard of vertex form again without completing the square, which is the most common way it's taught. So this is our standard form of a quadratic, and this is our vertex form. And normally we complete the square to go from one to the other, but it's a really long process, right? What we're going to do, and this is a quadratic, it's not quite in standard form yet, and I should delete this part here because it's not technically right yet. We haven't done that step yet. But we're going to put it into standard form, and we're going to use these two formulas to just find the values of our vertex form. This first formula, this is actually how you find the axis of symmetry, but in this case that will be the h value of the vertex. And this, the k value, is equal to this little formula here. Okay? But first we need to be in our standard form. So we're going to set this equal to 0 and put it in our standard form. So when I bring -2 to the other side, I already have the arrow set up.
This type of format is the same as here, right?
Yeah.
These format, but it's just that this has the equal sign on this side. Why does this have the sign?
And it doesn't matter what side you put.
Oh, because once you put the -2 to here, it's going to become plus. Is it going to become equals plus 2, or like, where does the equal sign go?
I'll show you. So when I move the 2 over, it becomes +2 on the other side. So we get 2x.
Equal sign stays there with the 0.
Yeah, exactly. And I could have put the equal sign, if that's confusing. I could always not do it this way, and I could go put it over here. It's the exact same thing. There's no difference.
Oh,
okay, so let's do that.
Same step, but it's just
Okay, so now that we have that, first, due to our standard form, okay, which is sometimes we write it as f at x is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. So let's write these values in. Here's our a, our b, and our c. What is, or what would be our a value in this question?
2.
2. Great. That's really important. We're going to need to know that. What's our b value?
8.
8. And what's our c value?
7.
Oh, actually, I made an error there.
-7.
We brought the 2 over, right? -7 plus 2, so that should be a 5 now.
Yeah.
Okay? Just to keep that in mind so we get the right answer. That should be a 5 now. Okay, and that's our c value. Okay, so this is really good. Our formulas. Remember, the h is equal to -b divided by 2a. Okay, so what was our b?
My b was 8.
Okay, so it now becomes -8 over 2 times, and what's our a value? 2.
The bottom's going to be 4.
Yep, so -8 divided by 4 gives us, you can use your calculator if you have to.
Is it -8 divided by 4?
Yeah, -8 divided by 4, and you'll see it in a second while I write the other formula.
-2.
Yeah, great. Our other formula, the k, is equal to c, let's make sure you write it down, minus b squared over 4a. Okay, so here. What's our c value?
C is -5.
So -5. Subtract. What's our b? We already said. 8. 8 will be squared. Divided by, and what's our a value?
2.
Okay, so let's deal with this bracket here. -5 minus. What is 8 squared going to be? Do you know? Check your calculator there.
It's going to be 64.
Good.
I need a 6 and then.
And then 4 times 2 will give us
8.
Then we're going to have to divide the 2. So check on your calculator. 64 divided by 8.
8.
Great. And finally, I have -5 minus 8, and that will give us -13. So, I've got a bunch of info right now. Okay, f at x or y is equal to, and my vertex form looks like this: a x minus whatever my h value is squared. So minus our h, and then plus k, or I'm going to write that plus, oops, k. Okay, we just found out what was our k value.
-13.
So -13. What was my h value?
That was -2.
-2. Okay, this is important here. And finally, and we didn't talk about it at the beginning, but standard and vertex form have an a, which is the same, right? So whatever the a was in standard, it'll be it in vertex. So what was our a in our standard form?
It was 2.
2. So here's our 2. So we have our 3 numbers. We just got to fill in the blanks. So f at x equals 2. X. Now this is x minus -2. So I would change the -2a positive now. Yes. Okay. So always flip whatever that term is.
Yeah.
And the k value stays the same. So this is our vertex form. Okay. We now have it by just using those two little formulas there. So once we memorize those two formulas, we can plug it directly into vertex form without completing the square.